Today in our 2017 Chevrolet Spark, we'll be installing the Roadmaster battery charge line kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-156-25. This Roadmaster towed vehicle charge line kit, coupled with our towed vehicle lighting system connector here, will allow our battery to be charged on our vehicle when it's flat towed behind our RV. Because on this vehicle, in order to flat tow it, you need to have the key in the accessory position so the steering wheel is unlocked. This will prevent the battery from being run down while you're flat towing. That way when you arrive at your destination and you want to drive your vehicle around town, you can still do that because your car will start right up. Now to begin our install, we already have our charge line wire right here. This red wire ran through our fascia with our 4-pole flat wiring here that we're using for our towed vehicle lighting system. The towed vehicle lighting system that we're using is part number RM-152-LED. So you see it has inside this wire loom here. We did this when we had our fascia off when we installed our base plate. I have this in this loom, wrapped it up behind the bumper here. Comes up inside the vehicle where we have it resting for right now. We'll use it later on in the installation. Now, for this charge line, we need to have a 6-pole round connector. We're using the Roadmaster 7-to-6 wire straight cord kit, which comes with our 6-pole round connector. This is part number RM-98146-7. All right, we'll start by taking the dust shield that was on the back of our 6-pole connector here, and we'll slide it over our wires, having access to our 5 wires here that we're using. We'll separate the 4 from the 4-pole flat wire. Okay, now that we have all 5 of these as individual wires, we'll take our wire strippers here and we'll strip off the insulation from all 5 wires. It's about a 1/4 inch or so, be fine. Make sure all of our wires are twisted together nice and tight with no loose strands on them. This will make them go inside of our connector easier. All right, we'll start off with our tail light or running light wire. So one marked TM on our connector. That's our brown wire here. So we have our set screw loosened up. We'll slide that inside there. And we'll tighten down the set screw. We'll do our ground next. That's our white wire. So one marked GD on our connector. Do our left turn signal now. So one marked LT. This also controls our left brake light on our towed vehicle lighting. That gets our yellow wire. Do our right turn signal now. It's the one marked RT. That gets our green wire. And that leaves us with our power wire, which is the red wire. This is for our charge line. It goes to the middle terminal, which is marked A for auxiliary. Loosen up the set screw. We'll insert the wire and we'll tighten down the set screw. Okay, with all of our connections made now, we'll slide down our dust cover here to the ridge. Then we'll take some electrical tape here and we'll secure our dust cover to the connector, making sure we seal up the end of it so no moisture gets inside. And we'll come back with some more electrical tape here, go down the end, cover up the loom a little bit too. All right, now with our 6-way connector all wrapped up and the wire tucked behind our fascia here, we have these 2 prongs on our base plate where we can attach it. We'll use 2 self-tapping screws to secure it. These are included with our base plate. They are 5/16 heads. Get one started, and then we'll do the other one. And we'll snug them down the rest of the way. Okay, with these snugged down, we have a nice solid mounting point for our umbilical that connects our RV to our towed vehicle. All right, we need to find a place to mount our circuit breaker. Right down here on this frame rail next to our battery box and our washer fluid tank will be a perfect spot. So we'll just set that down right there. Get ourselves a little working room here. We can twist this nozzle off the washer fluid tank and lift it out. So you have some room to work in there with a screwdriver. We'll attach that to the frame rail with self-tapping screws. Okay. All right, here's our wiring loom with our charge line and our lighting wiring. We'll just tuck it down behind our headlight housing here and measure off about how much wire we're going to need to connect to our breaker. Cut off the excess here. We'll save it because we'll need it. We'll strip off some of the insulation here. And we'll put our ring terminal connector on there. And we'll crimp it down on the wire. Now we'll attach this to the terminal marked BAT for battery. It's the gold terminal. So we'll remove the nut, which has a lock washer built into it. With our terminal over the stud, we'll reinstall the nut with the lock washer. Now one of the ends of the wire that we cut off, we'll strip off some insulation from, and we'll place on our other small ring terminal, and we'll crimp that down. And we'll place that on the other terminal of the circuit breaker. Okay, now we'll tighten both these down. It's a 10mm socket. Make sure those are both secure, and they are. Now we'll open our positive terminal on our battery here. And we'll remove this nut right here with a 12mm socket. And we'll check to see if our large ring terminal fits over it, which it does. So we'll take the wire that we connected to the other terminal, measure off about how much we're going to need right here. We'll cut off the excess, strip off some insulation, place on our ring terminal, crimp it down, place that over our stud, reinstall our 12mm nut, and we'll tighten it down. We need to put a notch in it right here in the corner to get a little room. That notched. And now closes down nice and secure back over our terminal. With the positive post of our battery covered back up by the protector, we'll reinstall our filler neck here for our washer fluid. We'll just push it in position until it lines up right, and twist it to lock it back in place. And that completes our installation of the Roadmaster battery charge line kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-156-25 on our 2017 Chevrolet Spark.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at eTrailer.com.